This meeting of the Senate Judiciary Committee will come to order. This is the last scheduled meeting of the full Senate Judiciary Committee in this 118th Congress. I want to thank all of the members, and especially Senator Graham, who unfortunately does not feel well this morning, won't be joining us. But I want to thank him and all the members on the Republican side, as well as the Democratic side, and their staffs for the work we've done together. I look forward to working with Senator Grassley in the upcoming Congress. In 2018, the U.S. Supreme Court struck down the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act, opening floodgates for states to legalize sports betting. Once largely illegal, sports betting is now legal in over 36 states and the District of Columbia. Professional sports leagues, formerly the chief opponents of sports betting, now partner with sports books and have integrated gambling into their games and broadcasts. It is virtually impossible to watch a sporting event today without being barraged by ads encouraging you to bet or hearing from a celebrity endorser about the latest parlay you should try. And from the industry perspective, it's a very profitable development. Over $30 billion was bet on sports in the third quarter of 2024 alone, a nearly 30% increase over the previous year. But at what cost to the bettor? At what cost to the sport? At what cost to the school or the athlete? Let's turn to a video as by way of introduction to this hearing.
Breaking news: the Supreme Court this morning striking down the federal ban on sports betting. Now it leaves it up to the states.
38 states and Washington, D.C. have legalized sports betting.
And the sportsbook's message, bet, 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 is everywhere.
You're driving on the highway, there's a billboard for it. You're watching a show, there's a commercial for it. You're on your phone, there's an advertisement
non-stop.
For it. It's probably testament to how much money's in the industry with it right now, but it's everywhere you look.
Gambling ads aired on TV 60,000 times in 2023, and the industry is expected to spend $1.3 billion in advertising in 2024.
$200 instantly. Just for betting $5.
The promotion strategy includes endorsements from celebrities and former athletes, as well as partnerships with media companies. Some teams have put gambling ads directly on the field and have even built brick-and-mortar sports books inside their stadiums.
The sports books and the commercials and the leagues themselves are making it look so cool to gamble and risk your money.
It's being marketed much more now as like fun, play, be happy, celebrate, sports, but just be aware that it destroys lives.
Now, addiction groups say problem gambling is on the rise, with more young people seeking help than ever before.
I had fallen deeper into the world of online sports betting. My life was completely shattered.
Gamblers have the highest suicide rate compared to any other addiction. I think that it being so enmeshed in society, we're really just at the beginning of it.
While gambling can be a form of entertainment when done responsibly, in many cases it is not being done responsibly. According to the National Council on Problem Gambling, an estimated 2.5 million adults may have a severe gambling problem. Another 5 to 8 million are estimated to have mild problems. With the advent of online sports betting, everyone's cell phone is a sports book, providing betting access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A person with a gambling problem can chase the action at the click of a button and rack up ever-increasing losses, whether on an NFL game or professional table tennis. I believe gambling operators must play a greater role in preventing addiction on the front end by helping identify problem gamblers and directing them to help. Last night I went to a reception. A fellow I didn't know came up to me and said, "Thanks for having this hearing." And I said, "What's your interest in it?" He said, "My son's at an Ivy League school. He bets every day, and his fellow students do too. It has become so common they hardly even think it's a new phenomenon that surely has been going on forever." Well, it was going on to some extent, but now it's being institutionalized and professionalized. Problem gambling is not the only negative side of legalized sports betting. As sports betting has spread, the actual games and cheering for your team have become less important for many individuals. who are more focused on the point spread or player props. When a bet doesn't hit, angry bettors often take it out on the players. In a victory over Michigan State, last year's NCAA men's basketball tournament, North Carolina star Armando Bacot had a great game, scoring 18 points, 7 rebounds. But he didn't have enough rebounds to make a certain gambler's bets pay off. Bacot reported receiving over 100 messages from gamblers after the game berating him because they lost their bets. Or consider Carson Barrett, a little used player on Purdue's 2024 men's basketball team. In the first round NCAA tournament game, he played the final minutes of his team's blowout win. He even hit a three-pointer in the game's final seconds. While this may have been the culmination of a dream for Carson, his reward for making the basket in the tournament was bettors' messages urging him to kill himself. Why? His basket pushed his team's victory over the 26.5-point spread. Athletes, coaches, and officials also deal with temptation to adjust their performances to make bets hit. You don't have to look too far to find a recent sports betting scandal. Whether it's NBA player Jonte Porter taking himself out of games to cash in prop bets, or former Alabama baseball coach Brad Bohannon giving inside information to bettors about his team, these scandals will continue to pop up. It is critical that Congress look into sports betting's impact on America and determine how the industry should be regulated going forward. I thank our witnesses for helping us to explore these issues today. Before introducing the witnesses, Senator Tillis has told me that he does not have an opening statement. So should I proceed at this point? Thank you. Each senator is going to have 5 minutes to ask questions after the witnesses testify for 5 minutes each. Our first witness is going to be Charlie Baker, President of the National Collegiate Athletic Association, NCAA. Prior to taking his position with the NCAA, Mr. Baker served as governor of Massachusetts for 2 terms. Welcome. If you'll hold on just a second, I'm going to introduce all the panel and then swear you in, and off we go. We are also joined by Johnson Badamosi. Did I pronounce that correctly? Bad day. Mosi, right? He's a former collegiate and NFL football player. After his collegiate days at Stanford, he played in the NFL for 9 years and served as the NFL Players Association rep. Thanks for coming. We're next joined by Keith White. Mr. White serves as Executive Director at the National Council on Problem Gambling, a position he's held since 1998. The National Council serves as an advocate to mitigate gambling-related harm. Next witness is David Rebuck. Mr. Rebuck served as Director of New Jersey's Division of Gaming Enforcement for 13 years before retiring in 2024. During his time as director, launched online gambling and sports betting. Mr. Rebuck now serves as a consultant to the American Gaming Association. Our final witness is Dr. Harry Levant. Dr. Levant is the Director of Gambling Policy with Public Health Advocacy Institute at Northeastern University School of Law. He also works as a therapist treating patients struggling with the addiction. He's a recovering gambling addict himself and has been in recovery for 10 years.